I have a 1923 Chickering grand piano that had been neglected over the years and had also suffered some damage in an inept tuning. And I wanted to investigate getting it restored. A piano tuner had recommended to me that it was a good machine and I should have it restored at some point. So I called Lindeblad Piano Restoration, and Paul arranged to have my piano brought up. And he looked it over and evaluated it, and then he called me, invited me to come and see the piano and what he planned to do to it. So he gave me a really extensive and thorough tour of the piano and the work he proposed to do. And I'm not a musician, so it was all Greek to me, but the piano had more moving parts than I ever imagined. And he showed me every last one of them and what they needed. And so by the time the visit was over, I was very comfortable with making an investment in restoring the piano. So I knew I was leaving it in good hands. I went home, and he called me a couple months later and said, "It's done." When it came back to see it, the finish showed wood grain like this one does. And the only thing that was the same about my piano from when I'd last seen it was the silhouette, because it totally sounded totally different, and it looked magnificent. It has magnificent mahogany underneath all that finish, so Paul stripped all that stuff off and brought it back to the way it should be, and it just looked amazing. Results were breathtaking. If he had not said, "This is your piano," I would not have known which one was mine. It was just amazing. Totally different piano entirely. When Paul invited me to come up and look at the piano, and he wanted to show me what he wanted to do to it, that was really what made the biggest impression on me, because I'm not a musician. I know nothing from pianos. So when he explained everything to me and showed me the worn parts and what was needed to bring them back, and all the detail he went into, I thought, even if I don't understand all this, he does, obviously, from his attention to detail, and he's going to be meticulous about the restoration. So I felt like I was in good hands. I could trust him to take care of it. He treated me as though I did know what he was talking about. You know, it's like when you go to a mechanic and they don't always take you seriously, but he took me seriously, and he explained things to me as if I would understand them. So by the end of the visit, I really felt very confident in saying, "Go ahead and do this work." It's very hard to evaluate something as a non-musician. So you have to find a good professional and trust them, and that's what I did. Well, I looked on the internet, which was the first thing I did, and I looked under piano restoration, and I think I might have put in New Jersey, just because I didn't realize that it was feasible to do long distance restoration. So I checked out a couple of websites, and I contacted a couple of people, and Paul got back to me right away, which was the first thing. The other people didn't get back to me right away. And then after I talked to him, I felt like he wanted to do what was best for my piano. You can kind of hear the love for the piano over the telephone wire, if that makes any sense. And so then I figured, well, okay, we'll proceed to the next step. But that's how I got started. I went on the internet, and then after I talked to Paul, I felt like, yes, this sounds reasonable. This is probably what I want to do. And then after I came up, after he looked at my piano, that was the clincher, to visit it and have it all so thoroughly explained to me, what my piano needed and what was the best way to approach it. I really felt comfortable with that. And I feel like the piano is back where it should be. It's back to probably what it looked like when it was originally put together, and I felt like it's been done justice. Every penny was very well spent.